Not your average tabletop. Woohoo!
Welcome to Not Your Average Tabletop. I'm Zach,
I'm Mac.
and today we're giving our first impressions of Dog Lover, which is a game we don't actually own, but we've played it. It was your brother. I was going to call him your brother-in-law's. My brother-in-law. Your brother's game. It's kind of a follow-up, I believe, to... Still haven't looked this up. Cat Lady, Crazy Cat Lady. That game, if you've played that one, they're both kind of smaller box games where you're just kind of drafting different cards to just score points in various ways by pulling cards from this grid.
Cat Lady.
Just Cat Lady. So Dog Lover. Cat Lady, cats are not loved apparently. So it's very similar to that. We played Cat Lady once. Where you are, it's a grid of cards, and you're just kind of picking kind of a row of them. So in this one, there's kind of ways to get additional tricks to
change the shape in which you would pull cards from the grid.
Right. So, you can sometimes take like a SP, so you get 4 cards instead of just 3, because it's a 3x3 grid.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise it's very similar. You're kind of adopting these dogs and then having to feed them, because some of the cards will be food cards, some will be dog cards. You can take them on walks. You can get some adoption cards to kind of get some special point ones. You can get traits.
Favorite things.
Yeah, favorite things. You get traits on the dogs that kind of give you victory points for doing certain things with them.
Yeah.
It's a pretty simple game,
Mm-hmm.
I would say. It's not too much to the game. It's just a drafting game if you've ever done that before. I think the biggest thing that I would say is sometimes difficult in this one that I don't remember. I think Cat Lady, it didn't have the other tricks thing.
Mm-mm.
So in this one, there's a guard dog. There is something like that in Cat Lady, but so there's kind of a row of 3 cards that he's looking at that you can only take one of with the trick. And just based on that and kind of some of the orientations of the tricks, I don't know, it's just not the cleanest thing ever.
Yeah, it can be difficult because you're so limited, it feels like. Because I feel like a lot of the trick cards have you taking 2 cards from a row.
Yeah, special tricks.
Yeah.
Is that what it is, special tricks? Or is it just trick?
I think it's just trick.
Okay.
And if the dog is guarding, it can make it very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
You are limited to just that one row, but he could be anywhere, and it might really mess up your ability to optimize actions.
Mm-hmm. And you can always go back to kind of just that normal straight line trick. I guess you can play with kind of the variable setup where you all start with a slightly different trick, so I guess then you might not have a straight line to start. But you can usually go back to that initial trick that I would assume can always be played. That part, I don't know, wasn't my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Just because, the orientation of the dog
But
and how that
I
works.
feel like it's still more interesting than grabbing just one row or column in Cat.
I agree with that. That does make it better. It just kind of can feel like, depending on which one you get, if you had to spend, because you have to usually spend 2 cards or 1 to 3 cards to buy a new trick.
Yeah.
If you had to invest in getting, however many cards, and then you can't even use it, that kind of, I don't know, doesn't feel the greatest.
Yeah.
But I guess, it all depends where the guard dog ends up.
Well,
you're just hoping that...
The other problem with that, though, is, you all have a certain trick, and the guard dog ends up in a certain spot because of your trick. So the dog can be in the same location time after time after time after time.
That is a good point.
Which really hinders your ability.
That is a good point.
To either get the card switched around or to get into. You could change the orientation of your trick potentially, but I know that at least in the 2-player game, it felt like the dog went here and here and here and here and here and here and here.
That is a good point, because you're always going to be behind the same person, even in a... We played 4-player games of it. Played this one twice. And in that one, it did feel like he always ended up in the same place before me every time.
Even though you can change the orientation, it still feels like they end up pretty much
in the same spot. That is a good point. I hadn't even thought about that. That's probably what drives that piece. But otherwise, it's a good game, and you're just drafting cards and getting points. It's fun enough that.
Yeah.
But I would say I've got other drafting games that I would probably prefer before this one. So it wouldn't be one that I'm like always looking to play. But it is a short game as well, so it's more of a filler style game.
For sure.
It's not one you're going to spend your whole night playing.
No.
So it's probably 20-minute game, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe even shorter, depending on how many players and if they've played it before. So this one's probably coming in at maybe like a 6 for me. One that I'll play every now and then, but I probably wouldn't typically get the feeling to play this one. I think I have enough games that I would probably pick before I'd get the urge to play this one.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think a 6 is probably fair for this game. I think it is really good. We, obviously, if you've seen any of our other videos, you probably know we do have a dog. So we are, in fact, dog lovers. So I think the theme in itself is super fun because it's super great to play that way. It's not our game, though, so I don't think we have to worry about it coming out too often, but I think it would be a good filler game to play with Zach and Carson from time to time, in between maybe a couple of heavier games, or if the time, we typically are eating and stuff, so maybe, like, we get done with a heavy game, play a quick game, then go eat and play another game or whatever. So I think it would be a good one for them to bring up from time to time. I don't feel like they have quite as many filler games as us, so it could be that it comes out a little bit more, but... Yeah, I feel like I would be fine with them bringing it out from time to time.
Yeah. But yeah, I think, like you said, that dog theme probably helps it a little bit. Otherwise, it might have even been a little lower for me. I don't remember what I said after we played Cat Lady. You can go check out our video of...
If you're a cat lover, 2D we're
con. Sorry. Cats are fine, but I don't know that I would own one unless... it was the only option to keep the cat alive.
Well, if you told me that you got to pick between cat lover or cat lady or dog lover, we're gonna pick dog lover.
That's true. But yeah, we've got an unboxing. We've got an unboxing video for this one, so you can see kind of some of the artwork of the cards and the cubes that are in this one. But otherwise, not too much in the box. But yeah, otherwise subscribe if you want to see additional unboxing videos, first impression videos. And as always, don't forget to keep on nibbling on our content.